lost 2 rounds to Pistols, and not even a force buy, just like an eco round where there was a couple of Pistols and no armor. So that being said, Immortals did what was needed to be done in that first half. So definitely a deserved victory, but maybe this is where the format gets really interesting, right? Because if Astralis didn't have those games previously, if they didn't have the long game against NIP, that probably wouldn't happen against Immortals, but I think that's what, you know, has a certain draw to it, right? That you need to grind out the whole day and you need to be able to play your best at each and every step of the way.
And we've heard it before from players. Their perspective, of course, it does change between players. Everyone has their own opinion, but it does seem like the consensus was that they kind of like that you have a day of just grinding out CS instead of coming in for one best of one and then disappearing off for 3 or 4 hours. It's that they quite like just sitting down and playing CS as they would at home. Yeah. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Now, regarding the losses, or rather the results currently in this format, of course, with round robin, both of them have actually got their victories versus the same opponents. Both Fnatic and Astralis have their wins versus NIP and Optic. Just the difference stands with the defeat. And we have to start talking about Fnatic and their successes as well. You can see Astralis are in their team huddle, just trying to rebuild morale, but in that bottom right corner, you can see the Swedes setting up. Natu, it's Fnatic once again. We've already seen a surprising, I say surprising, I should probably kind of rehash that, a enlightening performance from them versus NIP, which does seem to have rekindled some faith.
I think in all of us. I mean, you know, we've all been kind of skeptical of how is this going to end up. You know, getting back together with your old girlfriend usually never ends up being a great deal. But in this occasion so far, they've actually done things properly. They've renewed things, come up with different ways of playing. They've been able to change up their pace, come up with different executes, but then also have that element of explosiveness that is very true to Fnatic always. So I think the combination of those things, once they get a bit more time, it might actually really work.
This is really interesting to me that we keep using this family dynamic, you know, like the girlfriend, the wife. It's just interesting to me. No, the only reason I say that is because they've actually come out and said that they treated it poorly. They cut and ran. They cut and ran, Janko. You know, they basically left when the going got tough.
That is a good term to use.
Yes. Okay.
So looking at the frags here, so this is what basically Fnatic needs from their players. They need a good JW performance. They need Olaf to be able to create those openings for the team. I think he's had a good tournament so far. Glimpses of the dominating Olaf Meister from 2016. Here you can see some of the highlights from Astralis, from Xyp9x on Inferno. It's not so much about him, it's more about that Astralis can apparently play that map as well. So the only map they don't play is Cobblestone. It's going to be very difficult for Fnatic to get a map where they will be favored on.
It's going to be tough to see where Fnatic cut a break on the vetoes. In fact, we are going to briefly brush through them. Best of ones usually tend to be relatively self-explanatory, but we can summon those vetoes. I'll let these guys dig their teeth into them. It does look like we're seeing Cash, Nuke, and Overpass removed so far. So, I mean, Janko, where does this start? Your brain juice is flowing.
Well,
what direction?
Okay. Inferno.
Swiftly
I think it's going to be Inferno, Alex.
He's called it. There it is. It did have to be quick, and that's exactly what we got. But Inferno crops up, and you just stated Astralis can play. Is this a Fnatic wildcard? Do you think this is their...
I mean, they pulled it out in Vegas versus Gambit, but they had a pretty bad performance there. It seemed like they were on tilt a little bit as well. So if that was the case, maybe we didn't see the true Fnatic on Inferno. In 2016, they were an extremely dominant team on the map, especially on the CT side. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah. Me too. More Inferno, Natu. You're a big fan, I know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially on CT side, I want them to take it to Astralis and play aggressive.
Give it to them.
Exactly. Give it to them. Really do.
A leaf out of Immortals book.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to play aggressive all across the map. I want to see some vintage JW moves going on. I mean, this is one of the maps that define his playstyle, in my opinion, a lot of the time. So, yeah, could be very interesting to see.
I'll cross my fingers for a JW apps push. There you go. We'll get it once. Just once, guys.
Mag 7, of course.
Mag 7 or an AWP, whichever he prefers. They're both the same in his hands.
Shotgun.
Either way, predictions very quickly, guys. Astralis taking this. Nope, apparently not. We are going straight away.
Fnatic.
Astralis, Fnatic.
Astralis.
Okay, we've got a split desk. Let's head over to our casters after a quick one, as it's Henry G and Sedo standing by for Inferno.
round robin format means little time for rest. One group, one day, and it's Astralis after losing the last one on Cash that have to rebound immediately against the defending champions, 3-time major winners. Never with Dennis on the team, but they did win 7 in a row with him. They're back together, and they want to pick up where they left off here last year.
Absolutely, Matt. It's going to be Astralis versus Fnatic here, and on, in my opinion, the best map CSGO has ever seen. Inferno, it's back. It's looking amazing.
It's a big claim.
I love it. It's been my absolute favorite map in terms of the entirety of CS as a whole. But here we go then. Glade trying to do the run boost towards Banana, but we'll have a quick look at the buy. Quite a technical one for Fnatic here, considering it's Inferno. 2 smokes and a couple of flashbangs to work with.
That flash that hit Dupree actually makes a big difference because he wanted the rush boiler and get a shot down alt middle where the bomb was going. He lost track of where he was, didn't make it in the doorway. So subtlety, but it actually does change the intended play that Astralis wanted to go with. Watch as well, Xyp9x tagged to 7. Goes for the peek, Olaf nails him through the wood of all things with a Glock.
Yeah, he was by himself as well, so quick rotation from the CTs, but it's going to be a strike towards Arch and a Banana split coming in here, Matt. Towards B side we go.
Good play from Dennis to turn back and find Device. He's the closest to be able to catch them, and Flush is going to wait for rotations in the form of Kierby inside of the site. Glaive already found. Dupree and Kierby together have to rotate through Banana. No other access. What a great start from Fnatic as well to run that risk of trying to rotate back through CT, and Dupree closest to the site, down before the smoke blooms, limits off Kierby. Flusha, having waited to watch from A, knows he's already gone to Banana. He's on the flank immediately, sneaks into the wall, and Kierby had heard him but has lost track of him. Goes looking, looks the wrong way, does manage to recover. He's got it down to a 1 versus 2, and there's ample time left to still make a play if he goes quick enough. But no kit in his hands, and the bomb continuing to tick. Best he can hope for at this point in time is more frag distribution, more frag money, I should say, for him. As the USP has been picked up on either side against him, he's got no chance. He'll back off of this. Round's going to go the way of Fnatic.
Pretty textbook round there from Fnatic overall. Astralis, that's quite standard on the CT side, though. You play one person towards the Banana side. The idea is he's getting information. He wants to stay alive as long as possible. Unfortunately, he got a headshot, and he was kind of isolated. If he falls back, I was going to finish him off regardless. Like he said, the wallbang comes in, and I call it a Banana split because obviously we have that Banana part of the map. It's the B side. The terrorists went straight towards middle, through CT spawn, pincered anyone remaining, and rotating at the same time as well. And we've got Fnatic with some of the best pistol players on the planet, especially Dennis, nailing all the shots required. And Astralis, they will be force buying into the second round here, including Device as well, who gets the Desert Eagle and head armor.
We were wondering which teams would return to Inferno the fastest. It's no surprise that in the absence of this roster now reformed, with the map being redrawn into the pool, Fnatic would go to it. SK, haven't seen them go to it electedly yet. But interestingly, when Fnatic had that period of domination, Astralis used to beat them and beat them on this map. They were the one thorn that they had in their sides. So we'll see if Astralis still have any of those tricks available now. Admittedly, it is a much different Astralis. 2 players different, in fact. Kerrigan and Cajun B, obviously not in this lineup.
Well, Kiabi managing to get a couple of kills in the previous round allows him to buy up the UMP. Into round number 2 here, but Flusha is a bit of a menace with that Mac 10. Trying to get some intel here, using the smokes to their advantage. It will be Fnatic doing a bit of damage there towards Dupree. Not overcommitting just yet, just trying to sniff out the map a little bit here. JW making his way towards the end of apartments.
Glaive, meanwhile, still peeking inside of an inn, is going to fall back to the site. They've got a single smoke to work with on that B side, which is a bit interesting as well in the second round for the CTs to invest this much into it, because it's going to limit them heavily into round 4 when the guns come up if they can't pull something off with this. So they have to make a call on how they approach this.
So this is the 2 Mac 10 players now by themselves with no bomb towards B. This is a bit of a ruse. They're treating this like a gun round. Very common for the CDs to force up in the second one. Throw the Mac 10s into this area. The good thing is that they get that first kill, though. That's the signal for the teammates to come joining towards the B side. Just Glaive, they're doing a bit of damage, but not really much else they can do here. That's not going to force the rotation just yet for the remaining CTs. They're hoping they get back towards A, but this is a full commitment now.
And this is a full commitment, which means it's going to have to be a full save. As soon as Glaive goes down and makes that call, they're nowhere near the site. They're not going to be in contention for a retake without kits. We just talked about that investment. The smoke from Glaive, the armor on everyone, the UMP as well for Kierby. They've got to sit on A. They've got to let this one go.
That's really intelligent Counter-Strike. As I was building that one up, you could see exactly what they wanted to do. That wanted to be the fake towards the B side, but the fact they get that first kill without any real confrontation there, that's the call gate. Let's not overcommit towards A. We know this side's going to be clear. Go back in towards there together, and you can see, like you said, Astralis saving their weaponry here. That might look a bit strange on screen right now if you're not too familiar with CS, but the idea is this is actually meaning they won't be able to buy anything to the next round. So you get Desert Eagles, UMP, that's something to work with here. Establish some crossfires here on the A side of the map, and at this point, at least you can challenge a terrorist trying to hunt you down, maybe farm some extra cash, and if you don't, you manage to take this upgraded weaponry and the armor as well to the next round, you can give it another go.
Fnatic is hunting. Obviously suspecting the fact that saving, even though good shot, that's giving some money to Astralis side from Device, but obviously suspecting the fact that if you're saving on the second round, you have invested something into it, and therefore, if they can chisel that out of them, force up reinvestment toward the next round or even the first gun, it's still valuable. The obviously downside, the detriment is they've invested a lot more and have more to lose.
A chance though for dupreeh. We talked about it on Cash as well. He's the Deagle master, I would say, one of the absolute best in terms of that weapon in particular. Heavy grenades towards middle. That's Glaive trying to cross towards Boiler Room, but dupreeh, there it is, just as I build it up. He finds that first headshot, takes down Crims. Now they've got something to work with here. And Device, he's trying to find something as well, but Olaf Meister, he strikes back, brings it back to a 4-on-4.
He's looking for an additional shot towards CT with the AK as well. The much widened entry point onto the B site at top of Banana. No more pillars on the right, no more masking a hidden player on entry. Good re-peek, I have to say, into Device, or excuse me, into Olaf as he gets tagged down onto 14, but Glaive and Xyp9x are very weak. They've pulled dupreeh over in this position as well. Smoked off at CT he may be, but he has his customary Deagle. Not boosted on the flower pots. Ooh. That window is extremely wallable. This is what I expected with the Deagle. So now dupreeh's up. He's got some vision above the smoke. Can hit one shot and fall, but as he falls, neither does he hit a shot. He gets taken down by flusha with a lovely placed bullet from an AK. And leaves them to a 3 versus 3. If they can hold them on the site, that's the next thing they have to look for, because they'll take down AK-47s. So JW, good find against Xyp9x, and they've already backed off of it to save the weapon that they've grabbed.
After forcing the second round as well, Kiabi saving that AK-47 will be a massive deal going forward. To help balance the books out, he can drop a weapon over, and it's helped him have a much stronger round after that full commitment number 2. So another decent round from Astralis, finding 2 kills, and we'll see whether Kiabi can save his weapon. I'll jump on his screen now. Here he is, all the way in T-spawn. He's absolutely fine. No one's going to find him there, but Fnatic 3-0 on the T side here. If you haven't watched much Inferno, it's actually not been out for too long, this version of it. It's not really necessarily a CT-sided map anymore. It's still being established right now.
That was nice. We missed that. dupreeh is always hitting those.
He absolutely is. That's why I kind of called it out. It always feels so good when you say something like that. I remember that clip when we had Dennis on Cash, right? We used to say, like, Dennis, the best pistol player in the world, I think is an ace with the pistol. Like, this set us up so nicely. It's so cool when that happens. But as you can see now, Astralis managing to get some defuse kits, a bit of incendiaries, and that all becomes from Kiabi saved AK. So into the first gun round we go. No orbs purchase. It's not a very orb-centric map. It's not required. That's why they're happy to have that force by in the second round. 5 rifles is more than enough.
This wide side smoke could be interesting, because Olaf pushes through it. Glaive's ready. There's no more cart position. Remember Crims? He used to love smoking himself on top of the cart, playing the top of Banana over top of what was this. Yeah. It wasn't quite a one-way, but it gave him the jump, and people weren't expecting it. That no longer exists, so curious to see how some of these smokes with slight gaps in them toward the top of Banana tend to play out.
5-on-4 now. Glaive picking out the first frag, so that was quite a heavy commitment from him. You can see he's actually patrolling towards top of Banana. I beg your pardon, that's going to be Xyp9x, but here's another smoke. So 4 players towards the A side of the map, and actually it's actually a little boost here from Astralis. You know what, so there are 2 players there. They're actually going to be boosting a player up, now maybe leaving him there. That wall is so cool to use. When you can get that kind of position, it means he can just lock that down by himself, and that'll be the call now for Xyp9x to rotate and see him on the mini-map.
Yep, they've got the leverage in B. Enough information. In fact, Glaive's gotten more aggressive. He's going to go down toward the tree position instead. And we saw that JW flash out of apartments off the chimney. That's the new flash that exists. You could pop out. He tried to use it to bait out some shots from anyone on top of balcony, but instead, he just walks in and finds Device. I hold my breath because it looked like he may get vision toward the front of library as well. That's where Xyp9x is rotating into, and he's only got 39 HP to play with, so has to be a little bit careful of his position. Goes past Moto and in toward the side. He's got a lineup. JW comes out better, though, in the end. Only just. JW gets tagged on the 25. It was the damage done early to Xyp9x that cost him, but it's Glaive and Kiabi on rotation on Q, and Glaive with the aggression that's going to pull this back. flusha, 5 seconds, has to go for a plan. He's off it. It's done. Round over so long as he doesn't find the kills. They know he's peaked. They know they can sit back, and it's done at that. You got to be very careful not to go down after the time as well, because no money in the pockets of flusha.
So what he was trying to do there, obviously he can't win the round, but if he gets a bomb planted, it's another $300. That's something. He wasn't going to get any money into the next round. I think he was assuming they were going to just be hiding as much as possible, but he actually does die after time. The money's still in a decent position. Actually, it's not too great, you know. So Dennis has purchased his teammates flusha. They've got $6,000. They're not using a pause here, so they won't be investing into this one. So Dennis, the only player to really commit, he gets the AK. That leaves him with just over $2,000. So that is quite a conservative buy, all things considered. They've only lost 1 round here. I thought they'd be trying to shut down Astralis straight away, but not meant to be. Xyp9x this time with a deeper smoke towards the end of Banana. Taking this hunt down there, locked them out. And once again, they have a assisting teammate. That will be Glaive falling back towards CT spawn in that rotating position. He won't fully commit towards Arch, but it gives him options as the round goes on.
One of the things that I need to keep a little bit more attention to, and I haven't seen it thus far in this game, but we are early, is remember, you used to be able to smoke bottom and from CT spawn, A side.
Yeah.
Can't do it. And when we saw this played out in Vegas, the first tournament we had it, a lot of teams were electing to run a third player over to at least the chapel area where you could at least get a smoke halfway down Banana and then rotate back to A. I haven't seen them do that yet, but with that deep smoke this time, they have gone for a 4-man rotation over toward the A site to leave Xyp9x with information on B. We used to talk about B being almost like an alternate mid in some senses, that if you had control, you could sway your rotations in your favor. Time gone, though. No further access to Banana.
This is
has to go back.
This is quite common right now for the CTs, allowing the terrorists to have full mid control. They're fine with that, but you can see hunting for a bit of information. Just want to make sure that Arch is not a possibility. Device holding that tight angle there. He spotted all off Meister, but the rest of the terrorists heading towards B. Up the Glaive, now they shut them down.
Baited in and Xyp9x. That position you can easily get on top of yourself. They have to commit through. The smoke bomb already dropped. They do manage 1 kill from Crims, but Xyp9x immediately on the case with 2 kills of his own. So he and Glaive together combined for everything thus far, and careful not to give Olaf any further damage. Xyp9x will get the last one. So good defense from the players at B. Good timely rotations. We saw them anchor with Xyp9x and then rotate back when information was lost. And it brings Astralis now to their second round.
So there wasn't a force buy from Fnatic in that previous one, so they can buy into this. So Dennis, a little bit more limited, but the AWP comes out for JW. We saw him playing very well earlier today, so whether we can continue that form is yet to be seen. But here we go, 3 players towards B side of the map, trying to do a little bunny hop as well off the top of the players' heads, and the same smoke thrown. Nice indeed. That's from dupreeh though, so he actually has to commit all the way down towards the B side, then fall back towards Arch. So that's the adjustment now we're seeing from these CT sides. They still want to throw that smoke, but it takes a little bit longer. Lots of damage being done from the smoke here. Xyp9x just hitting their heads through it, and he's going to take Olaf down to 59 HP, flush it down to 49, so some great damage done already, just as the round begins as well. That's actually quite lovely.
There is a slight angle that exists now, as you can see. Crim's trying to see through that doorway and get a little bit of vision toward top mid, anyone transferring back and forth, but the crossfire positions inside the A site instead. Saw Optic play this map earlier and get almost caught out by a lack of support for each other when they did play deep in the site. So dupreeh has to be sure that if Kjaerbye's going to play that corner, he strikes while the iron's hot and not leaves Kjaerbye defenseless. And this becomes the new spot. Remember front truck? Inside a pit, you could see through it. Now you can see less than what you could see from front truck, but you can still get some access toward quad, or as Chad would say, diggity. Can be smoked off. JW again above has AWP, and he wants to try and find opening toward the library position. No one yet has walked out from that angle, and because of that, we know there's 3 inside of the A site. Glaive has gone back over to B, late smoke down, but Bomb is heading that direction. 29 seconds. Dennis and JW need to make a convincing case right now to pull Glaive off B and leave Xyp9x there alone. Glaive's anticipating it, he's considering it. Only now JW and Dennis will go. They spot off one immediately, but Kjaerbye's in the corner. That's handled well. Glaive, he's bought it. He's gone, and Xyp9x has gone passive. Now makes the call. They are inside of B, and a kill from Olaf is far greater than that of Kjaerbye's offsite kill, because now Bomb goes down. He has position out toward the tree. He can hold off inside of the smoke. They know he's there, and he tries to beat them in rotating back in toward Chapel. But Glaive's on the case. Still, though, it's a very tough retake. JW's just getting in position toward the bottom of Banana. It's Glaive, Kjaerbye, dupreeh that are close by. And an AWP from JW is going to sit back top Banana and hold towards CT. Catches dupreeh on entrance. Gives Flusha the confidence to peek to see if one more is in that position. There certainly is. So the AWP of JW can still hold that off, but it's Glaive that finds another. Kjaerbye to follow it up, and now JW just has to watch the bomb. Smoke goes, oh, what a shot on Glaive, and he's got the lineup. Kjaerbye falls in its perfect position from JW.
What a play from JW. In terms of the round, that looked a little bit hit or miss for Fnatic overall. You could see how they were building it up. Olaf Meister, as I discussed in the previous round, a lot of CT teams deciding to have a very passive hold. 3 players on the A side, this time even 4. So he goes in towards A by himself, towards quad, finds 1 kill. And at that point, his teammates ready towards the B side of the map. Xyp9x there by himself. They get in there, they get the plant down as well. And to be fair, it was a decent retake from Astralis, but JW with the AWP hits some sensational shots there and brings Fnatic their 4th round, and indeed Astralis down to an eco.
And a really subtle play from Flusha, that peek from Nubox after JW. Oh, nice shot. But after JW hits that first shot, because if Flusha peeks that and confirms there's no one else towards CT, then JW can relocate and start to watch caskets. As soon as he spots the second player, JW just sits back, holds the line, and even with the other 2 going down on the site, he's got bomb planted for him. That was perfect.
Really cool stuff. I'm so excited to see what Inferno brings to us in terms of the tactics. I think in terms of the tactical game, it allowed, just in terms of fakes, especially in the mind games you could play. We've seen so many historic games played on this map and so many amazing tactics, like the old Na'Vi. I used to love watching them on this. And I'm just really excited to see what this map brings to the table.
With pistols now, it's Astralis trying to play guessing games in terms of how to get ahead of the play rather than, I guess, proactive rather than reactive, because the Vice looks to rotate early. It's the wrong position to go as soon as he arrives back and toward the library. GW there with the EWP. Pre does have a shotgun to work with, but it's Glaive. Oh, this is Glaive. Glaive, please, please make it work. He can't quite land the headshot. They had the armor. They were fortified in the position, but he could have done so much more damage. So too could have Zipix on the shot toward Dennis, as he's on 19 HP. Crims does try and rotate around, anticipated by Zipix in the end, but no further damage dealt. 5-2 Fnatic, T side. They were always good on the T side of this map. And as you say, it's not yet clear which side's going to be favored on this version.
I think it's very balanced right now. I don't think there's a clear-cut side. And I do see it being a bit more lenient towards the Ts in terms of the options available now, and in terms of you've been disabled in terms of the CT side and the sort of smokes you can throw. But we'll see what happens. It's getting exciting now as we go into random breaks. A limited buy for Astralis and a Mac 10 for Flusher. He's up against 3 armored heads as well. This could actually work out. Banana Rush comes in. That's the Zipex. Try and do what he can to UMP. He finds one kill. Glaive stuck in the corner. Can he get anything more out of this? He can't. Olaf takes him down.
Zipix has to back away immediately. They pulled Dupree early, so 2-2 split defensively. Kirby's still in pit, but the low HP. Olaf on 3. Flusher on 15 on a Mac 10. That could be a problem.
That was looking very good, that Mac 10 buy, but now this situation, the low HP, doesn't look as tantalizing. So 2-on-2 in terms of the setup for Astralis. On our B site, 2 towards B. I think we have a bit of more commitment from Device, though. He's actually looking aggressively towards top and middle. There he is. But no one to be found as of yet. They will be possibly executing towards B. Still a lot of potential for that. Smoking the coffins towards City Spawn, Molotov oranges. But they might have been in a contact play. JW nails that first.
That's huge, and they check Zipix as well. Both clean entries, never mind execution. It's just straight up entry kills, and Astralis.
It's gutting, look at the damage.
Yeah, they're left sitting with nothing to fight for. They have to save on this, even though, as you say, they don't even add up to 100, all 4 of them together.
Yeah.
3, 15, 20, and 15 for the Fnatic 4 players remaining. That's impressive.
That is kind of classic Fnatic, isn't it? The fact that they've got so much map control and an advantage, they still just walk into a bomb site. They've got the audacity to do that. And JW, he seems like he's kind of found some really amazing form now with the AWP. It kind of lacked for a long time, but now he's hitting those classic shots once again. Device.
They'll need that.
Sorry?
They will need that as well.
They will definitely need that with this team. It's obviously been an interesting project. The bells are homage to them. You did spot a bell earlier.
There is a new little, like almost like an old school doorbell inside of the spawn.
Can you shoot it? Do you know?
I think someone tweeted me saying that they did shoot it, but I don't remember if they said it made a noise or not. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Makes a little ding-a-ling, maybe.
Yeah, little doorbell. I want to mention as well, you talked about the execution onto B. I think there's a couple things to go back on your point. Fnatic, when they have that map control, I think teams become predictable in where they play when they're expecting execution. And as such, Fnatic knows where to pre-aim and get those cross-air placement shots. This map in particular, the B execution, you used to be able to throw over top of the white door as we get a timeout coming in, a tactical timeout from Astralis, obviously. You used to be able to Molotov above white door to clear off new boxes. LG at the time, SK now, had an incredible execution where they would Molotov new box, bounce off the skyboxes for Orange 1 and Orange 2.
Yeah.
They're trying to find an alternative that is 100% reliable.
There is a way to do it, but
exactly.
it's really difficult to do. It doesn't land perfectly every time.
Yeah, because obviously, for those of you who don't know, the door's not there. You can't throw in behind the site anymore.
So that's the, when you say doors, like the passageway at the back right of the site, we used to be able to see you could throw nades through that as well, down towards the bottom right.
Teams just try and boost and find people in there
occasionally. That was actually a really cool part of the map, I think, but it's gone now. But here we go. There was a tactical pause, and it's this interesting buy once again. But okay, they did save weapons, to be fair. We'll take that back. They did save weaponry, but they didn't force around it. It's going to be AWP and an M4. 3 pistols, but Device, we know what he can do in these sort of scenarios. He's done it time and time again. And maybe a little boost up in the smoke here. I'm not sure as Glaive tries to hunt up for something here. Towards that banana split once again, man. This is such a cool strategy. If you can make this work, the CDs have such a difficult time holding this off.
And Astralis gave it to them, so as such, Zipix knows, and you're right, he's going to have such a difficult time. Flashes go in, that's far behind Zipix. Alert lands at his feet. He goes, by crosshair placement, look at Kirby! He's got the only gun, he finds 2, and then they overlook Zipix in panic, and just like that, Astralis mowed them down in a crossfire. That is Fnatic getting a little bit too complacent.
They looked so confident, didn't they? You get towards CT spawn, you got to play a banana as well. You think that's going to be the perfect round. Nothing the CTs can do. We need to see that from Kiabi's POV there. I want to see how he made that happen. So here we go. Towards CT spawn, he actually has the information here. Gets two and the third as well. That's such beautiful counter-strike from Kiabi. And he finds Astralis a lifeline here. Just when it looked like they were out of it, that was actually really impressive.
Did you read, by the way, the Reddit thread the other day as to why certain guns are whiter than others on the overlay? I never knew this either.
Okay, go on.
It actually means that the gun was dropped over to them. They didn't buy it themselves. So right now, Device's AWP, he bought that. The rest are guns picked up from a previous round or dropped over at the start of this.
I don't know if you're trolling me again. Like,
no, I'm not. No, that's actually true.
That's actually,
so if I go through right now, if I click Zipix, on my screen he's number 3, it's JW's op he's holding. Whereas if I go to Device, it's his op.
I didn't actually know that.
I didn't know that either. Someone pointed that out. I don't know who it was, but you deserve a massive applause for figuring that out because I didn't even know that, and Valve has explained things that they've done in this overlay to me.
Well, there you go. Matt providing the information. Well, we're going to another default hold here from Fnatic after a round. It looks like they're definitely going to pick up there. It's the double AWP setup this time. As we said before on Cash, not a setup Astralis are known to run. They don't really have the secondary AWP since they lost Karrigan, but we Zipex to, I was about to say strike, but his Device finds the first kill there. Takes it into a 5-on-4, and not really much game for Fnatic as of yet. He was by himself towards apartments, and they have got a bit of banana control. Just one player on that side of the map, that's Glaive. He's also smoke. He'll drop that right about now. Wants to slow him down as much as possible. He's a little bit late on that one, so Olaf can actually push through that.
Olaf's going to as well. He's audacious. They need him back on form, notably, as well as JW, and he does find the kill on Glaive going over the top to Bree. He's eliminated immediately after. It's a one-man advantage. Zipix is trying to get the lineup through caskets. Nearly does, but no further damage dealt. Nice as well wants to see above smoke that now dissipates. As it does, shifts into where the truck used to be. It's now the side of the architecture of the chapel, but they're gonna have to go 6-3. Money's not great. They're already backing off of this. They're already giving this up as well. They have one kit for Zipix, but they don't fancy their chances.
Double AWP set up, and you've got 4 terrors to find on the B side, which is notoriously hard to retake. I think this is the right call. We'll see what happens if Fnatic go hunting. I doubt they will, but to be fair, I think Glaive really overextended there. His position, he's by himself towards B. You can see he's got the smoke in his hand. His intention there, as soon as he spots a player, he's dropping the smoke and denying them actually finding him. He waits so long there, he gets back towards the bomb site, gets a lot of pressure, and then as soon as he drops his smoke, Olaf's seen where it's come from, right? And that's the problem. He doesn't need vision at that point. He can run through just as Glaive's readjusting, jumps up, takes him down, overwhelms him. Glaive had to drop that smoke much sooner, as soon as he spotted the terrorist, and he could have had a chance to at least find one kill. Wasn't meant to be, but I like the decision from Astralis. It's still pretty early on in the game. 7-3. They can still win the half. Let's keep this double AWP setup rolling. And Device and Zipex back at it again. But Device maybe going aggro this time. We'll see what happens. Olaf with the Molotov to deny any AWP vision at the start of the round there. And Device looking towards middle. Such a scary position to face. That underpass area especially has such an advantage with the terrorists.
We haven't seen... We're starting to see it a bit now as they nade down, but we haven't seen that Molotov play quite as much from Astralis that we saw at the Masters. One close, one far, bait them in, nade them off, but this time they do open things up with decent banana control. Double smoke as well means Glaive can start to get a little bit deeper in position. That deep smoke still existing. He's going to go all the way and check tree. Now, does he fancy his chances of staying burrowed in that position or not? Because if he does, we've already mentioned it, you can rotate off early. The problem is he's the one with the M4. And Zipix on the AWP, it's best they leave Zipix, so he'll do exactly that. He'll head toward the A side. As soon as he does that, though, Fnatic's already tried to push them back off top middle, which gives them now mid, and they fancy banana, but there's Zipix waiting. That's exactly why you leave the op there.
Absolutely. They seem to be really invested in this idea of keeping one player towards B. The idea of he can keep one and get one kill there and fall back, that's perfect. And he's done it so far. Glaive boosted up in CT spawn, and Zipex wants a little bit more here. Not known to be an AWPer, misses that second shot, but here we go. The commitment comes in.
Glaive is there. In the smoke has one. He's going to hold station because you could drop off that so quickly. It's taking down by Crims as a result of it, but it's Crims in a 1 versus 3, and this time, make no mistake about it, Astralis will go. Nearly spray through as well to deny the immediate plant inside at Orange's 1. Double flash, Crims spotted surely toward the back of the fountain. He's trying to find the orange dotted line to get this bomb planted. Forget all else, baits in one more, nearly gets the lineup, but Kierby pushes from CT, and that'll make it another round for Astralis. Very little limited of time, and Crims had to do what he could.
Zipex with the AWP, like we said, that solo play towards the B side of the map, hits one, falls back. That's the role. That's what he needs to be doing there, and he manages to just boost his teammate as well. He finds a kill there. got a bit scrappy, but overall Astralis have a clean round there. As we go into number 12, they pull one back. 7-4 now, and a difficult buy for Fnatic. They have 4 AK-47s. Flusher just on the Tech 9, and JW, who was so good and so instrumental with the AWP. He'll just be back to a rifle at this point. So back to defaults. Dennis hunting for information here. Walk past the chicken, of course. And making his way straight towards the end of apartments. It's quite rare these days to see CD presence towards the end of those apartments. That was quite common in the previous version, but Rush comes in.
Device did very well to buy himself some space in that situation because fully flashed off Kirby, couldn't commit to it. And now it's dupreeh to rotate over. Glaive arrives as well. Good crossfire set, tight position for the op. They make it work for one. They'll grab that immediately post rounds. And Astralis claw back yet another to make it a 2-round deficit. And have they done enough? They have to break the economy of Fnatic, so there's very little left for them to work with.
Can't say I'm a massive fan of that round for Fnatic. We know Astralis are playing this crossfire setup and towards that A site, running it at the tightest choke point in the map. The apartments, one by one, not really much utility expended either. That's just easy pickings for Astralis. They'll be very happy with that round, and that's going to force Nico out of Fnatic at this stage. Desert Eagles, a couple of Glocks as well, double grenades. Oh, they're going to hurt a lot. Not too much AK. I was only flushed at that. I thought he was definitely going to be going down. That's such a deadly area to start the round. HE grenades so viable in this map, especially towards Banana. And the smoke comes in once again. The CTs will be patrolling towards the top of B. And they can probably afford to rotate one back eventually. They'll be dropping one smoke and then at that point, seeing what kind of guns are available for the terrorists.
Flusha's got a gap if they wanted to go toward barrels that he could take advantage of with Deagle, but they boost above instead. Flusha, careful on that reload. He could have striked, but it's Zipix there, catches him, trying to push through the smoke. Tag as well on Dennis. At this point, they're just desperate to try and pick what they can to get any damage they can find. The Molotovs go down perfectly timed with that of disintegration of the smoke. That forces them all the way back down toward mid. So now it's the crossfire top 8 that they have to watch for. Device. Good repeat will find Crims. Pistol's unable to find much, although I say that it changes. Thankfully, they immediately get JW back before the op comes into play, and they'll hold with 4 alive to make it 7-6. It'll now be a 3-round loss bonus, 2 grand saved over on the last round, so a buy-in from Fnatic on round 14, and a chance to hit what would be the 4th round bonus, but no bomb plant. They'll be limited if they don't win this half, or this round, or at least, as I mentioned, get the bomb plant.
Round number 14, Device back on the solo orb responsibility here. Got a good spawn as well. Could face down towards T-steps or second middle. I would love it if he went for this. Can be really exciting if he finds that first kill. But the Molotov out of position, but that's not going to scare him off just yet. Still committing to the apartment area, trying to find the first frag. Doesn't look like anyone will walk into his crosshair just yet.
This is old school opping from Inferno. We used to see lots of people, JW, especially Guardian as well, try and play that angle.
Here we go then.
So set piece with Kirby and Device playing almost Virtus Pro-esque, as we used to say, in Boiler. So they play very aggressively and forward. Device, as soon as he wants to look away, they peek him out, but finds JW a lovely shot. He has to fall back inside of the site. Smokes are deployed, but that holds Fnatic at bay, at least for a moment. They're going to wrap again.
Smokes are poor, though. Like, from the pit, you can see the bomb site fully. You've got a massive gap there as well.
They're going CT. They're going to wrap through. It's Glaive that waits and has to back off. And he's already inside a chapel. Crims is in position. I think we may have lost it, but they're going to hold at CT as Olaf waits at the top of A. So they won't commit to it in completion because they don't have enough information. And Glaive's already anticipating this, knowing that dupreeh is watching library from inside of the site. They can't see the archway. So good information relayed from Astralis' side, but it's Device that waits as well with the AWP still inside of the apartments.
Yeah, it's a crossfire once again. It's going to work out nicely for Astralis here. Fnatic have expended pretty much everything they had. They have the man disadvantage as well. Someone needs to go wild here for the Swedes. We'll see what happens.
Olaf's starting to look from quad. That'll pull Kirby's attention. Might leave him exposed as well. dupreeh going down. It's Device that has to hit shots because Kirby's gone. He has bomb. He's dropped it. It's in his vision, but smoked off and can't hit the shot before the bloom. That might be enough to save Fnatic in the round. Let's flush it. Doing the damage, allows his teammate to plant the bomb. Glaive's already arrived, and no smoke in front of library because there isn't one available to the T side. Means he can try and take advantage early, but Zipix making noise at quad has Olaf trying to flank around behind from Boiler, so he needs to kill fast. And Flusha beats him to it from Graveyard. Glaive alone. And I said it was a round they desperately needed on the Fnatic side, at least for the bomb plant for money. Well, they get not only that, they get the round in itself. Astralis, they'll be able to buy, but they win the half on the T side, Fnatic.
Quite a peculiar round, that one. You could see what Fnatic wanted to do. The set piece at the start there. Bit of a fake. If they'd have committed to that one, they were actually got punished for it. There was a lot of gaps in the smokes there. Wasn't too convincing, but they went towards that CT spawn play once again. They find a kill. They hold up at that point, and they come back towards the A side. Device only gets one there. I thought he'd do a little bit more damage, but he dropped the bomb. Couldn't find that second shot. And we go into the final round of the half. Let's see whether Astralis can get it to 8-7 here. As Device back towards middle. Still a decent buy for them. And quite a slow default coming in from Fnatic to start around. Olaf just rattling off some shots there, but takes quite heavy grenade damage. That's got to be fully through the smoke.
100%.
I want to see
Tracers,
that replay.
perhaps.
Yeah, what's happened there?
That's pretty sick. Device, is flashed off. They don't go his direction. He elects to flash himself back toward Library. He's going to play this with Dupree. Again, they go for the smoke execution, but it's Device that has a gap in it, finds it, and Dupree capitalizes even further. So these smokes that Fnatic, they do cover off Pit, but they still aren't perfect because they allow so much freedom of movement within the site. So Dupree closes it out 8-7, close as you like, and Astralis and Fnatic, they're known for being very close on this map throughout their history.
Well, it was Fnatic that opened things up emphatically there. The AWP was on point, some good team play overall. We saw some execution base play towards the end, but Astralis looking convincing on that CT side. We'll take a quick break and come back with the second half.
It was a game of pace, as it was indeed Fnatic that started things off by picking up their respective rounds, their pistol round, but it came down to fast play, which led to them being, I think, ahead at 1.73, and then execution that was a bit sloppy, which allowed Astralis really back into it. And there's one particular round I have to point out that really made the difference for Astralis. It was Kierby on the M4 on B.
That was great. That was phenomenal play from him. But let's get into the second half, shall we? Fast towards Banana. Olaf Meister presented with the first kill here. Can't hit this first shot, but Kierby should be taking him down here. Just about gets away with his life.
Flash out, blinds 3 as Glaive tries to walk in behind them. They get their vision restored, and thankfully no one peeked in the meantime. It's Olaf, limited, new box, can't find shots, damage done, and already he's pushed back in. I was corrected during our halftime as well. These are coffins, not caskets, based on their shape. It's Dennis that's going to be placed inside of one, not before getting Device down, but watch JW trying to walk in from CT. He gets caught off, and it leaves Flusha and Crims damage further onto Glaive. He's on 4 HP. He's trying to play for information at this point in time. Bomb planted. And they've got a triangulated position upon it with no one walking up Banana, which means Dupree can start to look toward Flusha, puts his head down. He's so low on HP, he has to just stay alive. They found Glaive. That was inevitable, but that's what Dupree can do. Pops back up timely, takes Flush out, knows Crims walking in from CT, and the crossfire set. Has to switch guns! Nails it with one bullet, but Dupree's able to time the trade immediately.
I said one bullet because Crims picked up that USB. It had one in the magazine. That was it. So he couldn't even win that round if he tried. He had to hit that first shot. Round was still over. That's really unfortunate. But pretty sick regardless. He saw that, made the best of a bad situation. And Astralis there with quite a simple B execution. Just running in towards there with 4 players at the start, swinging towards CT spawn. Got a little bit tight there, the low HP, but Dupree stepping up. We go into round number 2. A full force buy for Fnatic. 8-8. Looking to win this round. A little bit aggressive towards Banana here. Good grenades coming in. Doing reasonable damage towards Dupree. And they'll look for some excuse me, Banana control here. As Olaf Meister and Crims have to fall back. The Molotov thrown towards the corner. Okay, Olaf.
That works.
Certainly works.
One and done. 100% accuracy in the rounds.
Maybe we'll smoke that now. Okay, fall back.
So UMPs plus an AK and a man down already. Armor on everyone on the Fnatic side. We know the UMP does have decent penetration, but the helmets specifically of Dennis and JW will thwart it to some extent. And they've got one further nade for Flushes still to deploy, as well as a flash for Crims. Meanwhile, Astralis still want to set inside of Banana. 4 players set and ready to go. Dupree and Kirby seem to want to lead the charge. Kirby's the one with the bomb as well. Very passive angle from Crims to play. Back toward Ruins. Olaf checking out toward his left at New Box. Is going to be blinded, but finds another. Still with 100% accuracy. 2 1-digs. And he's got more heads to fire at. That one's a whiff, but not really. He's just trying to get information and a pre-fire in his device. Doesn't finally put him down, but it's Crims that's going to follow up. Flush has arrived on the scene, and it's down to Jizipix. They're overwhelmed. Fnatic steal away, and Eco on a brilliant 2 shots from Olaf.
The old boys have still got it. How many rounds have he casted with Fnatic have made it happen on the CT side with just pistols? This one was nuts. You could see Glaive not even anticipating that to be a possibility. Gets his head blown off, and Fnatic pull one back with a force buy in the second round. Astralis, to be fair, what can you really do against that when Olaf's hitting shots like that? The one of the new box as well was very impressive indeed. We go into a force buy in return from Astralis. They've got Deagles as well. Don't know Slav to do this weapon either, so they'll be looking to return the favor. But 3 players at the start of the round from Fnatic towards B, locking them out. That same smoke we saw in the first half.
Glaive up on top of Coiler, has Dupree already inside. Deagle to work with. He's close to the wall to hug it. Needs to find responses. He's the Deagle master for the Astralis side, but it's not this time that he'll be able to work said magic. It's down to Dennis and Flusha to find the 2 opening kills. They manage it fine. Kirby on P250 has bomb once more, but it's Zipix that could try and do damage onto Dennis. He's given his position away. No immediate strike back from JW, who's waiting on top of the balcony, but he does get inside the doorway of apartments to at least secure the passage.
Well, 5 on 3 for now. Difficult round, just to let you know, Matt, that FaZe would just be NIP as well. So that's NIP going down 0-3.
And FaZe going 3-0.
Yeah, this is a real rough tournament for NIP. I just wanted to bring that up while we had a bit of a...
I'm going to say it's the signaling of change. There has to be.
I said that at Vegas as well.
There has to be. I'm sorry. I know they're, a core lineup. They're trying to stay together, much like Virtus Pro have, make things work. It might be time to embark upon a different journey, perhaps, but that's neither here nor there, at least right now, because it's all Fnatic once more until Zipix steps up. He's got 2, but once again, that won't do because he's left against 3. It would have been an ace, had to reload, jumped into the site, found by JW, and it makes it 10 for Fnatic.
Indeed he does, and not really much Astralis can do with their round number 19 here. No bomb going down, means it could just be pistols, maybe nothing at all purchased. I think we deceive 1 P250, there it is, Zipex. He will be the most equipped player on the T side here. No grenades purchased, try and get the bomb down if possible. Our classic used to be rush towards B, get the bomb of apartments, try and jump out, hope for the best. Doesn't look like they'll be going for any of those sort of antics. It's going to be holding up for any CT aggression and hope this defensive hold works out for the T side. But Crims gets himself in towards the old tree and smokes it off once again. That means B is pretty much shut down now. The T's just have to go towards A. There's nothing they can really do about this, especially when they know Crims is so far pushed down.
Inside of smoke at the apartments, though, it's JW that wants to hold him off. He does love his specialty weapons. I'd say his specialty is the AWP, but what I mean by that, obviously, is shotguns, sewing machines in this case. Occasionally, he'll use a soldering iron, and once in a while, a scalpel, if he really feels like being surgical. No? That's the next knife in the game. You didn't hear that from Valve? They're bringing the scalpel into it.
Heard it here first.
JW, meanwhile, though, with the MP9, does pick up second. That'll give him good money. Unfortunately, the headshot from Kirby will mean he's an innocent bystander for the rest of the round. He'll watch from the sidelines, but not for long because it's already done from Fnatic to make it 11. Pretty straightforward and clinical. Now the guns come up from Astralis. What should have been guns all along after winning the pistol.
Yeah.
Now become AKs.
Never a foregone conclusion, though, you have to say, in CSGO, especially on a map like this. Waters hasn't really been tested too much, and Fnatic known, especially back in the day, for being very, very good with the upgraded pistols on this map. We go into round number 20. It's 11-8. Fnatic have to lead for now, but like you said, the AKs come out once again. 3 players towards B. That seems to be the current trend. That deep smoke comes in. One of the CTs will fall back, allow the remaining to actually have a bit more time to work with here as we get into the 1 minute 30 mark as well. Terrorists not really gaining anything right now. They're pretty much shut out the map. You see the smoke down towards top of middle, smoke down bottom of banana. You just have to wait it out and try and work towards apartments maybe. That's what dupreeh's doing right now as he starts to have a little look around.
Device will fall down in the underpass. It's cleaned up. You can actually run through part of it now. You don't have to crouch the whole way.
Yeah, a little bit.
And there's no longer that collisionless box that you could fire up toward Monolith from. That was fun when someone discovered that that finally existed by looking at collisions in the map. Glaive, meanwhile, is already inside of Banana. I think actually that's one thing teams need to do more of is going into their own server. Obviously they do this for smokes and sets, but using the collisions, oh, good peek from Device. I saw him slipping out. I didn't think Crims would be exposed. But running the collisions to see exact skyboxes, I'm sure some do. I know Gobby loves specifically to do that all the time.
5 and 4. Astralis have managed to get something in their favor here. Standard smokes, that's going towards the coffins, one towards CT spawn as well, but it's a fake. The bomb is left, and they're trying to bait out the CT's force of rotation. This could actually work out very nicely indeed. dupreeh's so good in that boiler room position. Just down to Dennis now. Can he do anything? He cannot. Zipex, perfect timing, round over. Nothing the Fnatic can do about this situation.
I think it was, oh, good play from Glaive. This accuracy, all headshots, I think, thus far from Astralis. It leaves Olaf in a 1 versus 5 round over. He's going to sit on top of the B site. He might get hunted down as well. I think it was round 5, round 6, we talked about it with Fnatic. They set for execution toward the top of Banana, but then elected not to push in with the smokes. They just walked in and found clean executions. And what I'm, sorry, contradicting word. Executions meaning straight kills rather than tactical. That's exactly what we see from Astralis here. They just walk in and find the openings, and it works out well. So both of them trying that straight, skilled approach,
Well, the good thing about that from Astralis is they already had the 5 on 4, right? So they go for that execution. Fnatic have to assume they have to take a risk. That's going to be the commitment. There's smokes towards CT spawn, coffins, flashbangs as well. They have to take a bit of a gamble there. They start rotating, and as soon as they do, Astralis, boiler room, that's where dupreeh is known to be so powerful in the previous iteration of this map. Finds that first kill, and Zipex striping from apartments, just as Dennis is trying to adjust towards quad as well. It was quite beautiful to watch. Actually, a really nice round from Astralis overall. And we go into number 21 here. A little bit of a force by Fnatic. They have 1 UMP, not necessarily detrimental to a player like Flusher. He seems to be able to make that weapon sing whenever he wants. And they've got 1 kit to work with here, so still very possible. Device on towards the AWP now.
So if you jump on top of the table, exactly this, or I guess the chair from Barnapek, you can see exactly through that a very small pixel gap, a sliver to play with. It gives you a bit of a pre-fire, if you will, when they walk in through the doorway. Opportunistically, you could also see them perhaps falling back from top middle. That's less likely, but it's a good way to check it. So safety in that new angle. But back they will go based on a Molotov thrown at the top mid.
So Fnatic have 1 HE grenades and flashbangs left. They can't actually hold off the terrorists for full execution here. This won't be a fake. This will be it this time. There's a smoke towards coffins, 1 towards spawn. Flashes go in. How do you hold this off? We'll see whether they have what it takes.
This boost is certainly one way to do so. You get the kill, you drop down. I'm still not convinced. I love that boost position, but a gap in the smoke, and Olaf's found 2 to the 1 that Device has pulled back for his team. Astralis, they're going to plant immediately as well. On the inside of the coffin, smoke down, flash through. They can immediately catch off dupreeh. They don't quite find him inside of it. Device, he gets Olaf before they can solve that problem. So now dupreeh spars off against Dennis. JW falls to Device, and it's table's turn. It's now the advantage for, or temporarily, Astralis. In the middle of all that, somehow Flushes stayed alive toward Nubox, but Astralis solved the riddle, and both find kills to bring it to 1 round.
A misthrown smoke from Astralis said that smoke should not have a gap in CT spawn. You're throwing it from the bottom of Banana. It should be quite a precise lineup to mean you completely cover the entire gap there. So Olaf, like he said, boosted up, quite common these days. With the flashes are good, you can get 1 kill from it. The fact he drops down and gets 2, that's a problem. But Astralis managed to hold it together and hold off the retake, and it's going to be a full eco for Fnatic, who's going to round number 22.
Did Chad not say on the desk that it was Astralis that thought they'd found a Molotov to hit that boost?
I thought Alex said that.
Was it Alex that said
Yes.
that? Okay, I've yet to see it. That's why I'm questioning.
I haven't seen it yet either.
'Cause that seems like
to be-
the right thing to do.
Yeah, that would make sense. But like in that kind of scenario, I think Olaf got a little bit more than he was granted. Like the fact he got
Oh, for
two
sure, the
kills-
second kill through the
Yeah.
gap, 100%. I'm just saying, for the very beginning of the play, that boost to me still seems like it has some benefits that are a little bit one-sided. Obviously, we're talking through this round, pistols straightforward. You all saw it, 11-11, Astralis, great, walk in. It's so easy to get one kill and drop down. So if you can negate that threat before you enter, especially if you're dealing with crossfires and the fact that there's one on that boost and there's two inside of the site, new box, emo, orange is one, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
it does certainly help. It's less threat, less risk you have to take.
Well, I watched Andrew's Theory Craft video yesterday. He didn't mention a Molotov towards that area, so
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
curious.
Sure. I'm not sure. That's surely something he would have found out by now.
You'd have to, I think you'd have to be like pretty much, okay, hang on, because it's a fast play, and they're going to make contact. Glaive already catches Flusha. They try and go 3 aggressive in Banana, and Device is holding and waiting for this as well. Glaive will get forced back, just as Device changes as well, but no one's there to strike. Double Molotov play this time, going out from Astralis. Does pinch them, but Crims has had enough. He'll go back through it. I think you'd have to be pretty much near where that B logo is on the way through the choke point to bounce it high enough off the wall and land back down on top of it.
Well,
Unless it's a skybox bounce.
Yet to be seen, but Astralis apparently are the ones who know how to do it. So, 5-on-4 though, they've got the advantage once again with a ton of time to work with here, and once more, Fnatic, Manda's advantage, only one smoke remaining, and they've got Device at the AWP as well. Astralis can use so much time here just to push up a little bit further and see if they can actually find another pick here. Dupree's on the other side of the map. He'll be joined by Zipex as well. This could be a fake towards the B side of the map this time. You can see those guys lining up some smokes maybe, and then here we go. So they're going to be showing some presence. Ooh, don't throw that one.
Slightly off on the first flash bounce from that Zipex, or further from Dupree to support Zipex this time will be better. Catches Dennis, as we see from his perspective in Boiler, but he's now going to know there's no further aggression, and as he walks out to check that, he gets greeted by Dupree, who goes silent. The one thing that's changed all this, look at GW. Into the underpass, that's a big whiff. He doesn't even need to take that shot, truthfully. Now, he doesn't know that, but Zipex getting him back now gives them the A site. If he'd waited, bomb was immediately to his right in Banana. Either way, A site capitalized upon. Astralis will take a lead, 12-11, if things go according to plan. 5 versus 2, and that's certainly going to cement it.
To be fair, it wouldn't have had that much impact on the round, but that's not really much worse feeling than CS than missing a 20-bullet spray in someone's back and they just turn around and belt you. So,
James Bardoff knows all about it.
does he?
So
Right, yeah.
does Moses.
Sorry. Good point, good point. Well, 5-on-1 now. Crims can't really do much about this. He'll be holding up, cowering in towards that B site. I think he's at first orange. He's boosted up, okay? But he'll be taken down as well. That should be an eco now for Fnatic. They've lost 4 rounds in a row after winning the second round forced by as well. So since the gun rounds have started, Astralis have looked very convincing, especially in terms of getting that first man advantage as well. Fnatic quite aggressive towards B, and that's to their detriment, I think. They seem to be not just throwing that first smoke, they're actually willing to challenge at the start of the round, losing the encounter almost every single time, and then they're left in a really difficult position. So now, 12-11, Astralis take the lead, and we go to Desert Eagles, CZs, and a 5-7 for Crims. Got a couple of smokes, and we saw what they did with this sort of weaponry before, so I'm not going to count them out of the round just yet. But I'm sure Astralis will be treating this just like a gun round. Don't give anything away, let's just make sure we take everything together, use the utility like that Molotov in apartments, push them back. But it's all off Meister. He's the danger man, is he not? As he gets ready, there it is.
You said it. You coined it, and the trade's potential is massive. JW goes out after Olaf goes down. Perfect crossfire set for it. And that gives them an AK to play with, and Dennis has armor as well. Good pickup from Glaive. Takes down Crims. He's far removed from Dennis's position. We saw that on A. They're now on B. Bomb will go down from Glaive at Coffins. And it will be Flusha that closest to arrive. Tries to push in through Chapel, but he's only got a Deagle and no armor to work with. There's no kit in play, so if they can do economic damage to Astralis, that might be worth it in itself. Obviously, picking up the round would be lovely, but if they get these guns down, they'll start to chisel away at an economy that has swelled throughout the last 4.
It's looking very promising for Astralis as they go to 13-11 here. These pistols can't do much, but they managed to get an AK. Could be interesting for Dennis.
Flash timing doesn't blind anyone, and Kirby was waiting for him to push through. Dennis caught. And the other two, I think, are just going to wait. Flusha could do, again, damage economically, exactly that, but he'll go down with the blast.
In terms of damage economically, you can see Glaive's got $16,000. Kiabi Dupree and Zipex all above 11 as well. So
Exactly. It's not really worth it, but I'm trying to give them a silver lining.
yeah, it's true. It's just, I love this shot. I love the sounds in the replays.
Slow-mo, yeah.
It's
It's
actually
good.
pretty cool.
Thunderous.
Yeah. Well, double AWP setup, maybe the last resort for Fnatic here. Olofmeister and JW on those aforementioned weapons. And like I said, lots of aggression so far. They haven't really allowed Astralis to come to them. That's what Astralis was presenting, a very default and kind of towards the A bomb side, making them come towards the A side. Fnatic haven't really done that. They're challenging everywhere. And they're not sending 3 players towards B this time. One of the AWPs presumably on that side of the map. Olof, and he can actually spot Device there. The flames, actually, the incandescence of them blocking Device's vision. He gets taken down. And Crim's now looking for more. Not just happy with one, it seems.
Crim's waiting with his back into the wall, or looking away rather from where the action was, anticipating a flash, won't have it arrive. So he'll fall back in the site. They're early to anticipate A as a strike, so it's Olof that gets on Speedway, as it was formerly known. I'm sure it still is called that. They're trying to go for this boost. I asked you about this.
Yeah, it's possible.
I
Definitely possible.
I have to look at that from an outside perspective. I'm wondering what they were clipping, if it was the door frame or not. But you get on that, then you can jump over. Yeah, it was the edge of the door frame. If you jump over onto the top of quad, so you can now approach that in a much different fashion. Flash is going both directions. Inside of the site, there's 2 to wait. And it's going to be Dennis finding the first. Flush is there as well. Flush is yet to peek. Does now. Takes down Kierby. And there's Zipix just remaining against 5. And I think the X-ray paints a quite vivid picture with Bomb already down.
Finally, Fnatic recalibrate. They change the setup. The double AWP works out for them. Now Molotov at the top of Banana actually gives vision in favor of Olofmeister, takes down Device, funnels him towards A. And as I mentioned, they go back to a more passive hold there. Crossfires so prevalent on the CT side of this map and shut it down. So 13-12, tactical pause comes in, and it's caught by Kiabi as well. So this will be some time just to work out what's going on. Like we said, they've got plenty of money here. Bad news is Fnatic. They lose this round. Yes, that was quite a clean round for them, but Crim's left on 1,400. A couple of players on sub 3K as well. Lose this, it'll be 14-12, and they'll be looking at a real difficult situation going forward. But still have the double AWP set up for now. That did work. We'll see whether they... I'm sure they'll stick that kind of mentality. Get Olof set up towards the car or the corner, and then have an AWP towards A, waiting for the T's to commit. I think they've had enough of challenging now.
Zipix out of spawn will be our bird's perspective. That's his teammates bypasses. He sits for flash. That's Crims on the receiving end. Finds one. Remember, he likes to play aggressive on Banana in the former version. Very close for Glaive, and more close indeed for Dupree. Both low on HP, but no longer a cart, no longer a one-way smoke to take advantage. It does slow Astralis considerably, and he's done better in the exchange given the HP for Astralis after all of that.
Well, they've noticed there were no HE grenades in the previous rounds. They've gone for that fast Banana take. An equal exchange, but have taken a lot of damage. Not necessarily a big deal against these double AWPs. And Dupree, is he pushing through the smoke? I believe he is. JW actually nails a shot there, I think. Doesn't get the frag, but Olofmeister helps him out. And the AWPs is lighting up Astralis here.
Beautiful stuff from Olaf. Falls back tactically behind this smoke as well, as the bomb plant will be conceded. But double up. 2 AK, and now just one more to find. They need to play as a unit because of that double up setup. And Dupree, blinded off, finds one chance. Nearly as they ran into his crosshair, but he can't catch the second kill. And then it's just a matter of numbers, I guess. Run him down as everyone attacked. And it'll give Fnatic their 13th to tie the game as well. In a late stage, we mentioned Astralis' money. It was fantastic. 16K, I think you said, for Glaive. Well, it's whittled down now to just 1 round in hand. I think it'll be 2. Yeah, so they'll still have 2 now that the round's conceded. I can see the money upgraded, but it's getting closer.
This double AWP setup seems to be working out very nicely indeed. So, here's one of the first kills coming in. Boom, Olofmeister. He actually been legged already, Zipex. JW took a shot, completely blind. I think it was a no-scope as well. Hits it, doesn't find the kill, but Olofmeister comes in and cleans up. So this double AWP setup has looked fantastic for Fnatic in the last couple of rounds. Double AWP setup on the T side. This is kind of unorthodox. I spoke to these guys as this map was coming out and said, you run an AWP on the T side? I said, not too often. We're actually just when we need to. And now I guess now they're up against double AWPs on the TT side. They feel like this is the counter, and we'll see whether it works out for them. As they're smoked out of Banana once again, they'll change their concentration towards middle. Device waiting for anyone to overextend. Dupree with the secondary AWP. That's a interesting play. Like we said, they've lost Carrigan now. He would have been the secondary AWP player. So now Dupree's having a go with it. He's in the boiler room. That's a nice little angle. I didn't know that was actually possible.
Yep, that's the pixel gap I mentioned. With an AWP, it becomes far more apparent and actually a little bit more promising.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
What I didn't know is that you could actually see it from the floor. I thought you had to be on top of the chair to see it, so that's a change in variation. But speaking of AWPs, it's Olaf that finds the first pick, and it's against none other than Device. So one of the two ops bought up, one of the 4 in the round overall, downed already. And without further ado, without any delay, and 51 seconds left on the clock, they'll give up Banana at least momentarily and consider A site altogether, because Olaf, I think, is a bit of a threat they don't wish to engage upon.
Indeed. It's Olaf finding that first frag and takes down a huge scalp in terms of Device, and JW given a chance there, can't quite land it, but he'll still be holding the line, and the flashbang will come in and force him to go back, but he still wants a little bit more, and he takes down Zipex in the process.
Oh, he may get another. He's still got a lineup. Finally, a smoke blooms, and as it does, Glave's looking the wrong way. They walk out from Library, and it's Dennis that's going to give Fnatic the upper hand and perhaps the round. And I think that's confirmed. Dupree heading for the hills to save the AWP. They don't yet need to fully save, but to keep an op up, I think they would, based on the economy. And now it becomes a problem. Fnatic had money left over. I thought he was going to get both. I thought he was going to keep himself alive. But Fnatic had money left over. This was neither breaking point for either team. So no matter who lost, he was going to be able to buy in the next. You had to win successive rounds to break the other team, which means Astralis has a chance to get back into this. Great shot.
That was nuts. That's kind of classic AWPing, right? As soon as you get a flash, yeah, you're waiting and kind of predicting when they're going to fade. He just pulls the trigger straight away. Someone in his crosshair as well. That looked really cool. 14-13 now. So the AWP was not saved, but I think they've got enough to just about squeeze out a buy. They have to balance the books in terms of dropping some weapons over. They should have 5 rifles here. They have 4 AKs, 1 Galil, and this double AWP setup has certainly paid dividends for Fnatic overall. 3 rounds in a row now, and it's Olaf Meister who seems to be coming to life. Had a quiet first half, but he's actually finding the opening frags left, right, and center now. JW leading the charge with 20 frags. So the adjustment comes in. Astralis with that previous round, a double AWP set on the T side. I'm not sure that's actually viable on the T side of Inferno. I'm not really sure what you're going to be doing with that. You can't really gain a lot of map control. You can't really strike quickly together. You're working very heavily on just getting opening picks there. If you don't get them, how are you getting to bomb sites? They get punished for that as we go into round number 28. 14-13, Fnatic take back the lead here. And see whether Astralis have an adjustment here as they quickly get towards tree once again. That's Kiabi. But it's Olaf Meister, of course. I'm not sure he knows he's there. He's on that right-hand side. You can see with the X-ray. Maybe Kiabi can do something with this. This could actually work out.
The question is, Crim's throwing that nade low.
They might push down with this.
And I don't know if they're going to know that Kirby's here.
Yeah.
Because they're already putting the utility below his position flashed in. They still didn't see him, so that's okay. But he didn't get any information off that either, and they have backed off. Olaf, that smoke didn't fully bloom, catches Device, and Kirby sits perilous in the corner where it looked like he was going to be the menace of all.
That was so unlucky. It was such a good position to be in as well. He'd snuck in there. Fnatic didn't even consider it. They thought they'd locked it out. The incendiary, then the smoke, and Device, he gives it up. He gives the first frag towards Fnatic, and Olaf Meister once again, the person who opens up the fragging here. Glaive.
Ooh.
Yeah, those flames, just about getting away with it.
Some asbestos stored inside those barrels.
Yeah.
Flames don't go through.
Well,
keep in mind, this is not just map point for Fnatic, it's break point Astralis. If they bring this back, it's 14-14, both teams still with guns.
Indeed. 5-4 for now, 35 seconds remaining. What have we got left? 2 smokes, a few flashbangs towards B, all into this point. I think we have a player boosted in CD spawn as well. He could be a thorn in their side. It's Crim's waiting.
Crim's waiting indeed on the boost. Doesn't drop down though. That's why I think as soon as it's won, it's done. Get down, because they instantly pre-fire it. Dupree gets the headshot. Kirby follows it. It brings it to 3 versus 3. But the HP's limited. Flush up.
No.
He's got it lined up. Bomb denied. 14 seconds. They have to go for it. He's got a Molotov on top as well. Dupree, he's going to be forced to oranges too, and Flash is going over. They have all the chance in the world to push on. Numi goes for utility after. Kirby, he's top banana. He's expecting a flank. There's 3 in the site. And Fnatic are waiting for the flames to extinguish so they can immediately get on the defuse. All 3 of them have kits. Smoked off is Kirby. That's round.
Yeah, but there's no options for him whatsoever here. What an insane round. Flusher, you just know he's going to do it every single time. As soon as he gets cut in that sort of position, the bomb's about to be planted, you think, okay, he could do it, but it's unlikely. Of course, he just nails it perfectly, pushes through the smoke after that as well. Astralis, just an absolute chaos there. They had to rush the plant down. There was only 10 seconds remaining as well. Then Kiabi couldn't do anything that round. Good news is, though, they get the bomb down, so this last round isn't as bad as it could have been. 15-13, they get 5 AKs and utility to work with as well. But that double AWP setup, especially Olaf Meister, he's finding kills every single time. Astralis need this now. Need to find that opening pick. They're losing it time and time again.
Smoke goes up at top middle. Glaive waits in banana down toward logs and tree with Kierby. Bomb is all the way back toward T-spawn. And it's JW with an op aggressive in apartments. Free fire going in, tries to fire back at it and actually gets tagged up on the last shot. Puts him on 60 for whatever that's worth. Little do they know that he was likely tagged anyway because it came through the wall. So Kierby gets to cubby top banana. Flash and smoke goes down. The flash did catch him, but it won't matter. It's only just to make sure that he's not caught in the boosts. Crims as he gets up. Orange is one. Remember, you can put yourself there. JW takes further damage, this time for a fraction. It's only 4 as it clips through the wall. That's a little bit greater. He's down to 30. He's got to stop getting aggressive at this point because he's getting picked apart by players he can't even see. Every bullet that's hit him has been through the edge of a wall. Crims, he gets Kierby starting off perhaps the signaling of the end for Astralis, who have not had an easy day in groups thus far. Glaive, tempting fate, gets away with it. Molotov to library. JW setting for it though, finds Glaive on the way by. Open doorway, and you can read all the books you like, but you can't fool JW inside of one of them. He'll shut it upon you, and immediately outside the door looks for more. Device goes down. He did pick up a kill to give Xyp9x further chances, but a 1 versus 3. Tight angle to play on the site, AK in hand and looking toward top middle as JW positions. That'll lock him down. If he plays this correctly with the boxes as the smoke dissipates, he may find more. Gets one through it, Olaf down, and he'll transfer into pit, so he's got a bit of a chance still as the angle starts to favor. But watch the trade. If he goes for Crims, JW should jump over, finds Crims. JW's not close enough. It's only 30 HP. He goes immediately to the site instead, and Xyp9x doesn't have the lineup. He's tapped at JW. He's not staying on it. AWP in hand, though. And how does the smoke play? Because JW's watching the right side. This time, surely stays on it. Not quite. Goes to the pistol, and Xyp9x pulls back against 3-4 in the round. He'll lose his gun, but he'll keep his team alive.
You just know every single time Xyp9x and everyone knows legendary players are so calm in the clutch situations. Any situation you can actually win. 1v3, and we're actually taking a tactical pause here for Astralis. That's interesting. They're taking it after winning that round. They'll probably have a little adrenaline running through their veins. Xyp9x needs some time to calm down. That was so beautiful from him after losing 4 rounds in a row. It looked like it was done. Fnatic had the 3 versus 1. Xyp9x got the plan down, but he played it to perfection. And there it is. We go into round number 30. So tactical pause comes in from Astralis. The money's not actually great, so coming down to the 1v1 is actually a little bit detrimental for them. 2 players on UMPs, Dupree with the Tech 9s. They've got a pause left. Might as well use it in this last round and work out how they're going to address this last round. Plenty of money for Fnatic, I'm going to assume, after winning 4 in a row. So Olafmeister buys first. He doesn't get the AWP, though, so not going to have that double orb setup. Look, this could actually be overtime now. That's sick from Xyp9x.
I'm just going to go back a second and just say, sick from Xyp9x is undoubtedly true. Now, he may not be the flashiest player. He's not Snacks. He's not JW, but especially in clutches, he's quiet. He's the smartest. I'm going to say it. He is a mastermind in those situations. Gets the kill on the site and then says, oh, you're throwing a smoke? I'm back in pit.
Yeah.
Immediately relocates to an angle where you can't pinch him as they want to do from coming from both sides.
Yeah, really well positioned as well. That's actually lovely stuff from him. But still 1 more round to go to get us to overtime here. We have 1 AWP for JW. And like we said, that double AWP setup not going to be possible now. Olafmeister back towards the M4A4. Pretty default round from both sides at the moment. No one giving anything away, no aggression coming in. We do have Glaive towards Banana, but JW, he fires off a shot towards apartments here, so they know that's where the AWP is. They're at the call to go back towards B now. Apparently not. We will be going towards middle. We haven't seen much in terms of full executions from Astralis on the T side yet. Maybe that's the play here. Limited of the weaponry, get the smokes down, try and overwhelm the AWP. They're getting close range with the SMGs and pistols.
Flash round toward quad. Dupree takes advantage of a little bit of position giving, goes toward Boiler. There is a lineup from balcony and JW. Don't know if I'd want to tempt him into a 3rd shot. So instead, they'll force him out of position by way of flash. Dennis is there to support the bottom pit headshot lineup, but the flash time is perfect and Xyp9x gets 2 on the way through. Keeps them alive, gives them a chance. He might just get them in toward overtime as Device plants default. A UMP in hand, it's 2 AKs still available as well. And speaking of UMPs, that's 2 of the 3, make it now 1 of the 2 weapons that Fnatic had to work with. And down goes Crims, it's only Olaf, 1 versus 5. Gets 1, that's all he gets. It's overtime, Astralis forcing out yet another.
Well then, Xyp9x with 6 kills in the last 2 rounds. Certainly the hero there for Astralis. He wins the 1v3 when it was 15-14 and then manages to do the same here in round number 30. 2 kills as he comes out of the apartments, completely wrecks Fnatic. You can see what JW is trying to do, using that small gap towards Boiler to find 1 kill there. He fires off a few more too many shots. A reload comes in. That's when Zipex strikes, takes 2 players down, and we do go into overtime at this point. So it's going to be MR3 10K. Double orb setup for Fnatic, of course. That was working so well for them, so it would make sense. Off and JW, of course. No orb on the T side. Like I said, it's very situational for Astralis when they want to use on this map. We saw them some interesting setups here. Fast towards B though. Astralis do lose the first frag as Olofmeister once again to open things up.
Crim's finding yet another at top of Banana. Will fall in behind the bags. Flash goes out, but they can't strike yet. And smoked off. Crim's now is. He's got Olaf in a position where he can capitalize should they round the corner toward him. And even when the Molotov goes down, they can't catch him in transition. Even a slight gap is enough for him to evade. Watch the nade. Zipex 14. No opening for Astralis. Hardly much map control. They have got them into Banana, but sure, 2 men down and already a fast rotation from Flusha available from Speedway. It's going to be a bit of a problem. Crim's above as well. Might be able to spot them on the way through. They'll go for the boost, try and get Device in opening. Further tags and further damage to Olaf. Molotov, whoa. Doesn't quite reach out far enough, excuse me, as he tries to go back on the AWP.
Options quite limited here for Astralis. Commitment comes in, smokes towards Coffins and Spawn, and a misthrown Molotov. We're going to have to go for it this time. Crim finds another kill, make it 2, and it's just going to be poor old Zipex now left by himself. Crims finishes off the job towards B. Astralis heavily focusing on that area once again, but now things have adjusted. Olofmeister with the AWP to start around and gets 1. He baits in Crims towards the sandbags position. Automatically just a 5-on-3 at that point. They hold up, and Astralis try to walk in towards the B side and can't really do much about it. Clean sweep for Fnatic, and they take the first round here of overtime.
Flush up over toward mid. AWP in the hands of both Olaf and JW, but they aren't going for the fast pick. JW will set and wait at Arch for a crossfire potential at top of middle. It's going to be Dennis and Flusha that go over toward pit side. Zipex and Dupree to put aggression onto that position. So very straightforward default thus far from Astralis 2 and Banana Device waiting at mid.
Terrorist not giving too much away once again, but getting towards that tree position, or logs, I guess we should call it now. Will be Glaive holding up. They still have the utility to work with here. Olofmeister and Crims, they're still going to be a nuisance on this side of the map. They have to use the flashbang to push them back and get further up in that position. Here comes the Molotov. Let's see where they can actually get towards the top of B here. Just clearing out the close range angles, and that's good. At least they've actually eradicated the risk of the Olaf AWP at the start of the round. Here's that smoke from Glaive towards the arch side. And there should be an A-sided attack at this point.
Tries to fire into the smoke, JW. Not successful. Nade does do a fraction of damage onto Glaive. And a Molotov to counter their movement as they had smoked off on the opposing side. A misstep from Glaive takes a bit further damage. But it's going to buy time. 32 seconds. Kierby, timing is everything. Gets toward the arch, but doesn't catch Olaf in rotation. This puts him inside of the smoke. He has to go for JW because Flush is already doing damage from pit. And JW, he mowed them down here last time. Spotted the gun barrel. Can't hit it. Smoke will suffice for now. Get to the site. Get the bomb down, but JW pushes through. Catches Kierby immediately. Even when you think you've sorted him out, you certainly haven't. JW finds another. Glaive on the inside of the smoke, and this is classic at this point. As Device in another 1 versus 3, this time doesn't have the freedom of movement toward pit, even if he should find the first pick because they cover off apartments. It's Olaf inside. And the movement finds the first. JW goes down. He still has a chance. They want to walk out from apartments. Both close. Finds one. Drops back down, and he's got it as well. Olaf's head torn off, and Device takes one out of the pages of Zipex to pull it 16-16.
Another 1 versus 3. Can you believe it? Looked like JW had that round tied up as well. Here's the replay. No one thought he'd be able to get the second shot, but he manages to put it off just about through this smoke. And Device, 1 versus 3. Astralis hanging on by the skin of their teeth. It's going to be number 2.
Can you imagine if we see these plays in the Spodek when the crowd's here?
That's what
This will be the loudest building
Yeah.
you'll ever see in esports.
Oh, wow. What a couple of massive rounds there. Okay, 1-1. Device. He came here to play. I was about to say that JW playing out of his mind right now, but he's been shut down in that previous round. Last round of the first half of overtime here. Double orbs, of course, from Fnatic once again. Device, he's picked it up himself, so he'll be edging towards middle. Trying to take on JW, who's towards the arch side. Whether he fully commits yet to be seen.
Olaf forced back early. Double op back in effect. Device onto his. A sit and wait as well. Bomb intentionally dropped. Again, a default from Astralis. It was a clutch to win them around T-side. It's been convincing, more convincing in overtime thus far from Fnatic. And this man, last time, audacious, pushing out behind his smoke. Is going to set with patience at the top of mid this particular instance, and the smoke will buy a little bit more time. At 40 seconds, buying 15 seconds, that's pretty big at this point in time. It may be enough, that smoke alone, to funnel them back toward B.
30 seconds remaining though. Astralis, B control for now. Device looking towards top of middle. He wants to make something happen here, hold the rotations off, but it's going to be actually Kiabi on the other side of the map. They will rotate towards it. It's running out of time here. They don't really have much to work with. JW gets that first pick. How can Astralis get out of this one?
How can they? Because they don't have much to work with. They find kills on 8. Bomb's going to swing around. Dennis is still in the sight. What a shot from Xyp9x, though, because Dennis had all the position to foil all plans. Even if he concedes bomb, he can capitalize and strike immediately. But Xyp9x sorts it, solves it, and Glaive goes to the graveyard. Crims and Olaf limited. I didn't think Astralis were going to be pulling at much in the start of this overtime. They certainly didn't look it in the first round. Device saves them in the second, and now they walk away with 2 rounds to their name and a 1-round lead as they swap to CT.
It looked like Fnatic had that round done and dusted. 5 on 4, 10 seconds remaining as well. Then out of nowhere, Glaive comes in with 2 sensational shots on that A-bomb side. Xyp9x chimes in as well. Out of nowhere, Astralis find rounds here. It's just been nuts. This overtime is delivered. As we go into a 2-1 advantage for Astralis, the magic number at the top of your screen, of course, is going to be 19. So 2 for them on the CT side. They tie things up. Fnatic, the pressure on their side of the server now. Single orb set up on the CT side of the Device. We'll see where he decides to go. Looks like it'll be towards middle. Be challenging JW once again, who's been great so far.
Brushes off. Xyp9x tries to replicate Crims' position. It's Glaive that has to trade, but now he's left in the open. Pre-fire from Olaf, who stands in the flames. That allows dupreeh to capitalize because they go for a B-heavy strat. They'll also rotate over Device, which leaves Kirby alone to anchor from pit. It can be done. Hobbit did it for Gambit. Shroud in the glory days of Cloud9. Summer 2015 used to do it, but it's a tall order to hold off the A side, and we don't know that the pit is the same position it used to be. It certainly is far more open.
Oh, after the brawl at the start of this round, it's a 3-on-3. Crims, he's alone towards the apartments area, trying to do what he can to even get a bit of information here. Kiabi's waiting from the other side, though, in that tight little corner. Crims will be looking to hunt him out here. If he can get this kill, that opens up a lot of options for Fnatic, but he won't be committing, going towards Boiler. He's checking out all these close-range quarters, and we'll see whether dupreeh and Kiabi on this side of the map can hold them off. It looks like that's where they'll be finishing up here, Fnatic. Device by himself, which is fine towards the B side of the map. He's got the AWP.
Crims will walk out slow. Slow and steady. It's Kirby and dupreeh now both on the site. And dupreeh's going to be the hot hand because he's going to walk over, spot them perfectly, trying to rotate into the arch. We saw Fnatic take advantage of that situation multiple times in the first half. But good positioning as Kirby stays above, sees over top a double. And it's JW left in the open, Kirby finding him as well. And it's map point Astralis.
Beautiful.
Battling back 2 1v3s. Fnatic's going to kick themselves.
Beautiful, beautiful CS from Astralis there. dupreeh, he knows time ticking down. He needs to hunt for a little bit of info then. Not only does he get the intel, he just hits a fantastic shot there on the outside. Falls back, drops a Molotov at the same time as well. Fnatic can't do anything about it. There's no time to rotate towards B. They're done in that 3-on-3. And now we do have, indeed, match point for Astralis. This has been a fantastic game. One of the best I've ever seen on Inferno. So much drama, and Olaf Meister has to fall back there. The incendiaries drop at his feet. Lucky to only get away with 7 damage there. Bomb's still down in T-spawn, so not giving too much away here. Xyp9x and Glaive hunting for information towards the bottom of Banana. He's using that smoke once again. That seems to be very efficient, but Olaf Meister, that certainly isn't. He takes a nade right to the feet there, down to 10 HP. And Device setting up the AWP now, so he can hold his position by himself. You can see on the minimap, they'll be rotating the remaining 2 players that were already there back towards the A side of the map. This is looking promising now for Astralis. This could be the final round.
Could be. Especially Olaf, 10 HP, way down toward T stairs. Device spotting down Banana. Even if he wants to cross over to join his team, now there's a smoke down. Okay, that changes a bit. He could have been caught by that. So Glaive with a boost on top of his teammate's head, trying to see into cross-peak potential from Fnatic's positions. Device waiting as well above barrels, has the op ready. They're lining into it. How does that miss?
Don't know.
Under one armpit, through the legs of another. You couldn't contort yourself enough to find an opening, I don't think, but somehow it goes between them all, and Device still can't line it up. Glaive misses shots. Are those misses going to be enough? Because they're on the site, and Device still can't find kills, does get one, and I think does damage onto Olaf as well. Flush at 10 HP, does get taken down. Eventually, Device had to start landing, and they were unable to take damage into him as he's pushed back. He still has 81. Can afford to go for the repeaks. 3 versus 3. Dennis watching Kierby trying to approach up. Banana does get the shot, but takes a ton of damage in return as he sits on 2. Means Dupree becomes more of a factor. They're all low except Crims. Dupree, overtime. He's gonna sit and wait for at least a moment longer. And he may just concede this. He wants to take guns down. Spots one, nearly does get Crims, low on 55, but they're gonna back away, and it will be Fnatic getting a 17th and forcing us into our 6th round of overtime, our 36th round overall. And a potential to go even further. Remember, Astralis against NIP, they already had, what, a triple overtime game today?
Yeah.
Or a double at least. Quadruple. There you go.
Yeah, this has been a nuts game so far. I just can't believe that miss from Device. It looked dead on to me. Like, he had so many targets on his screen, and he misses 2 or 3 more. And I think that's the downfall there. Astralis had it in their grasp to actually win that round, but not meant to be. 3 towards B we go once again as we go into the final round here of the first set of overtime. Definitely has potential to go to double. Glaive and Zipex this time towards the B side of the map. Device will be patrolling middle of the AWP once again. No orbs for Fnatic this time. JW's been so great with it. That boost once again though. Glaive, he opens things up and they get that first man advantage once again.
Quick taps out toward the door and Boiler. To no avail. Device does sit back to see if they'll walk down the stairs. Fnatic, with it all to play for, will set smoke toward Arch, or will they? Dennis?
This will just be for map controls. They're smoking towards Arch. Try to push the CDs back, get them in that crossfire once again. You can see Device ready for it, so he'll fall back at this point. There's the smoke. Flashes come in as well. Fnatic don't have to come in at this point. They still have time to work with. They're taking the vision away from the CTs. You can see them actually edging back towards B, where Astralis famous have been playing one player on that side of the map. So this could work out for them. But unfortunately, there are 2 players. One boosted up as well. JW, who'll be sitting by middle by himself. He can actually go for the flanks and stop rotations coming in. So JW, although he's not with his teammates, he's instrumental in this tactic. Device waiting for him as well. All or nothing now for Fnatic.
All or nothing toward B with a wrap at Arch. Caught by Device. Reads it like a book. Perhaps they've used that tactic too many times. He picks on the boost, ready for the one and done drop. Flush is gonna go close. I'm not sure he'll be able to spot him, but he does line up one. Damage as well to the other. As Flush sits on 11, it's 2 to find. And Astralis clutching themselves back to a game.
That's it.
Look at that from Device. Up above sees both 19-17. Astralis will survive the threat of Fnatic on Inferno.
A sigh of relief there from Glaive. How many rounds do they have to stretch out there? 1v3s twice. And some big clutches all over the place as well. Fnatic, they've got to be gutted there. To be fair, they've done that to people on Inferno so many times in the past. It's about time they got a taste of their own medicine.
And we said it was Astralis that used to do it to them on Inferno. They were the one problem that Fnatic always had. If this is going to be the legendary lineup returning, they do have to still solve the fact that Astralis will be there waiting. It was a great game of Counter-Strike. I can't wait to see what the desk has to say about it. We'll be back shortly.